Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting, and it's Paydirt battle time again. And this time we're going to be battling iPan4Gold and their 1.2 gram flask versus HighPlainsProspectors 1.2 gram, which oddly enough is made by iPan4Gold and rebranded for HighPlainsProspectors.com. So I'm going to be pretty interested to see if there's a difference between these two besides the packaging. But let's just flash up both of the descriptions and go to the overhead. As you saw, really good descriptions on both Paydirts, but the iPan4Gold one is slightly better because it is a full description, while the HighPlainsProspectors seems like some of it was edited out. So iPan4Gold definitely has a better description, but they're both really good descriptions. Let's weigh these up. They say approximately 1 pound each. And let's see, 1 pound, 5.6 ounces. And I don't believe this flask weighs 6 ounces. And 1.41 for the HighPlainsProspectors. And let's open them both up. And this is a very thick Mylar bag that has been glued as well as sealed. So we'll just cut her open. Try not to spill it, which I'm going to do anyway. And this is slightly damp material. But I will rinse this out before the end of the video, just in case there's a little speck of gold in here too. And now let's open up the iPan4Gold flask. Let's see what's in this one. And just in case you cannot tell, this is a plastic flask, so it won't break in transit. And I will rinse it out as well. And as you can see, the material is identical, except for this is a little bit damp. So we'll check them both for magnetite, just to see. A little bit, not too much. Let's check. And again, really not too much in there. So let's go get this all classified down and see if there's a difference in the classification on these two bags, or bag and vial. Okay, all done classifying. And as you can see, pretty equal amounts in the lower three classifications with both of these Paydirts and a lot less in the plus 10. Now I will say, with the HighPlainsProspectors bag, the lower three classifications really look like equal amounts, almost the exact same. While with the iPan4Gold, there is a little bit more in this classification, the -20 plus 40, than the other two, but still pretty equal amounts for both. But I am going to be curious where the gold is in both of these. I don't think I'll find anything in the plus 10 with either one of these bags. I didn't see anything when I was classifying it down, so I'm going to assume that most of it will be in the lower three classifications, with, I'm thinking, the vast majority of it being in the middle two classifications. I don't think there'll be very much in the -10, but I'm hoping to find enough to make it worth panning out. But the only way to really find out is to pan it out, so let's go get some water and do just that. So have my water, have my pan, have my Paydirt here from iPan4Gold, and this is the flask Paydirt. And once I've finished panning out this, we will jump to the HighPlainsProspectors Paydirt, which is also from iPan4Gold. So let's get started, listen to some music, and hopefully find some good gold. Well, finished panning everything out as you saw, and that Paydirt had a little bit of difficulty to it, but we'll talk about that in a minute. For right now, let's show you the gold I found. In the plus 10, I did find gold, which was really, really surprising. I did not expect to find gold in the plus 10, but I did. And this is from the iPan4Gold bag, while this one here is from the HighPlainsProspectors bag. In the minus 10 plus 20, even more gold. A nice little pile. Much more in the HighPlainsProspectors bag, but still a nice bit in both bags. In the minus 20 plus 40, even more gold. A little bit less in the HighPlainsProspectors bag, and a little bit more in the iPan4Gold bag this time. And lastly, in the minus 40, not very much in either bag, but there was a couple specks in both of them, so it did make it worth at least panning out the material. And now let's start weighing this up. We'll make sure the scale's on, which will help. But we're going to start with the iPan4Gold. And again, these are guaranteed 1.2 grams of gold in each, both of them. And the iPan4Gold pretty much almost has it right in the plus 10. And I still have more gold to go. So that's always a good thing. .240. .150, and I don't think this minus 40 is going to budge a scale, but we're going to try it, at least for the iPan4Gold. We might skip it in the next one, though. Yeah, not budging it, but let's weigh it all up and see what we get. Oop. 1.560. So a little bit more than the guaranteed 1.2. So really surprised with that and really happy with that. And now let's try the HighPlainsProspectors bag. Plus 10. 0.755. Minus 10 plus 20. 0.46. So I think over there we've hit the 1.2 minimum. And we still have minus 20 plus 40. 0.060. And we are going to try it. We all know it's not going to budge the scale, but here we go. Minus 40. Did not budge it. Add it all up, see what we get. I don't think this is going to be as much as in the iPan bag, but it will be over the 1.2 gram minimum. $1.290. So still pretty happy with that. It is over the 1.2 grams I was guaranteed. So pretty happy with both bags. And now let's talk about how difficult it was to get the gold out of both of those bags of Paydirt. Now for both of these bags, the iPan4Gold bag as well as the rebranded HighPlainsProspectors bag, they are actually fairly difficult to pan through. Now the vast majority of this material is crushed material, so it is a little bit more jagged than you would typically find in dirt. So the gold does not want to sink as much, and also with the material being so orange, it hides the gold a little bit more than normal dirt would. It also did have some black sands in it and a little bit of fine gold. So for a beginner panner, I'm going to give this a hard. For an advanced panner, I'm going to give it a medium. And for an expert panner, I'm going to give it an easy. And now let's get to the ROIs, the reviews, and see who won this battle. All right, finished calculating my ROIs, writing up my reviews, and let's get right to it and see who won this battle. Over on the left is iPan4Gold and their Placer Dreams bag with a guaranteed 1.2 grams of gold. While on the right, we have the rebranded iPans4Gold bag from HighPlainsProspectors.com with their Practice Panning bag and a guaranteed 1.2 grams of gold as well. Now, the cost for the iPan4Gold was $102. Shipping was $7.64. So total cost right here, $109.64. Now, the gold I recovered right there again, 1.560 grams of 18 to 22 karat gold. Now, gold spot on the day that vial was received was $58.69, making this gold worth $91.56, giving me an ROI of 83.51%, or on my scale, an 8.4. So a really good ROI and really surprising. I did not expect to find that much more than the guaranteed 1.20 grams. Now, over on the right, from the HighPlainsProspectors.com, I paid $99. Shipping was $8.50 for a total cost right here of $107.50. Now, I recovered 1.290 grams of gold. That was also 18 to 22 carats. Now, the gold spot on the day that this bag came in was $57.61, which makes the gold worth $74.32, giving me an ROI of 69.13%, or on my scale, a 6.9. So again, I have to say I'm pretty happy with that. About 70% is what I expect as a minimum from a Paydirt, and that one was really, really close. And I will say there is one other thing about the High Plains Prospectors, is they do have free shipping if you purchase over $125 worth of material. So if you bought 2 of these bags, you wouldn't be paying shipping, and the ROI would have actually been about 75% if that shipping wasn't in there. So if I would have been buying some gold pans or a piece of equipment and threw in that bag of Paydirt, I would have had a better ROI. But 69.13%, or on my scale is 6.9, is as close as you can get to 70%. So I'm still happy with that. Now, for fun factors, for the iPan4Gold bag, I'm actually going to jump it up a bit from the ROI of 8.4 to a 9. Not only was I pretty surprised at how much chunky plus 10 material there was in that, but that there was gold in every classification and a lot of it, where I actually recovered, again, 1.560 grams. So a 9 for fun factor. Now, while for the High Plains Prospectors, I'm going to bump it up just a little bit to a 7. Again, because it has some chunkier gold in there, which I wasn't expecting that much of in the plus 10. But the win goes to the original iPan4Gold bag. For Paydirt description, they both have really good descriptions, but the iPan4Gold Placer Dreams vial is going to win with a 10 because it has pretty much all the information you will need, while the High Plains Prospectors did delete some of the key information, but I'm still going to give them an 8, but they're getting a loss on that one. For Paydirt quantity and packaging, again, iPan4Gold with the win with a 10 and 10. 10 for quantity and a 10 for packaging because that vial is a very sturdy plastic and it will not break without some really rough handling by the postal carrier. Now for High Plains Prospectors, they're still going to get a 9, a 10 for quantity and an 8 for packaging because that is a very thick Mylar bag that they use. But it is still only a 9, and iPan4Gold's Placer Dream came out with a 10, so they get the win. For customer service and shipping, they're both getting a 10 and a tie. Michael over at iPan4Gold has always been really quick to answer any emails from any of my secret shoppers. And High Plains Prospectors was actually really quick, and I did not expect that, but they replied within 48 hours to an email my secret shopper sent to them. So 10 for both of them and a tie. So total score for iPan4Gold's Placer Dreams vial is a 9.5, a really great score, while the High Plains Prospectors bag still ended up with an 8.3 score. So both really good scores, but I am going to give the win to iPan4Gold's original Placer Dreams vial. Really great vial. I had a great time panning this out, and I have to say, when I went into this battle, I originally did not think it would go this way. I thought they were pretty much going to be tied up at the end, and I thought the fact that High Plains Prospectors has free shipping available might turn the tide, where you could buy 2 or 3 of these bags and get a much better ROI, which would have bumped them over iPan4Gold. But I'm guessing iPan4Gold puts a little bit more gold in their bags than they do in the ones that they rebrand. So either way, I would have been happy with either one of these bags, but I really, really enjoyed the iPan4Gold Place Their Dreams vial, and that's why they got the win. So that's going to be it. Thanks for watching. Happy panning. And if you're not already a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button below.